All right, guys, you're running a CUDA program featuring dynamic parallelism in Visual Studio 2017 on a Windows-based machine. So you have a Windows-based machine with Visual Studio 2017, and you're trying to run a CUDA program featuring dynamic parallelism. Now, maybe previously just a simple launching a kernel, one kernel that doesn't really do much has been working up until this point. But as soon as you put in the dynamic parallelism code, you get an error similar to this one. Calling a global function, my function, from a global function, my function is only allowed on compute 35 architecture or above. All right, take a deep breath. It's not that big of a deal. It's fairly easy to solve. What you have to do is set up your Visual Studio 2017 environment to be able to run on a compute architecture that's 35 or above, right? And you have to make sure that, of course, the architecture that you're running, number one, that if it's 35, that the graphics card you're running has it. And then also, if you want to run on a higher architecture, that your card actually supports it. So first things first, before we get too complicated, all you have to do is go to this guy right here. I will include the link in the description below the video. But go to this guy here, and I want to protect his intellectual property and his effort and everything. But visit the page. It's a nice page. No pop-ups or anything, and it will basically walk you through changing all the settings in Visual Studio to be able to run on the higher architecture, right? Because what's happening is that Visual Studio is defaulting to an architecture below 35, right? So you want to go to this page and then follow the instructions to change all the parameters. Just understand that this page is unfortunately it's for Visual Studio 2012. So there is a code generation setting in there that it's a similar layout. So you could change it to read compute 35 as it says in the instructions, but in the settings window, when you pop up to when you do the edit and you're trying to add this string right here, you want to make sure that you uncheck inherit from parent or project defaults, right? So uncheck that little box. It's in the lower left hand corner. I think in Visual Studio 2012 we didn't have this inherit parameter thing, so he doesn't address it, but it's there. Just make sure you uncheck it. The reason is that Visual Studio will always default to the parent or project default, which is the 3.0 or the lower architecture that's causing the error. So you want to make sure you update the string here, to this or higher, because I have a GTX 1080 Ti card, this guy. But then also make sure you uncheck this piece. And then there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to do. Just change it as he outlines here, because it's pretty straightforward. It's similar to the Visual Studio 2012 that he's using. If you're not sure what SM your card can handle or what setting to put it as, you could visit this guy right here, and he will tell you based on the card you have, what SM you can run, what number you could use for this guy right here. I always like to just use the maximum architecture I could use, because hey, it's the reason why I bought the graphics card, right? So I'm using 6.1, but you could probably use some others, or but of course you have to make sure that the card you're running can handle the 335 architecture. If not, then you're in bigger issues than this can solve. This is CUDAeducation.com. This post is here on the site. I also have a tutorial on how to even install CUDA Toolkit 9.0 and get your Windows-based environment just running basic CUDA programs. So you could go to CUDAeducation.com and check it out. You could also visit this page to get a written version of what I'm talking about here. I will also include a link below with all these, this page and this link and this link right here. But pretty much once you have everything set up, you compile. It shouldn't give you any errors, and then you run, and then the dynamic parallelism should work. So that's my take on the issue. Please don't hesitate to donate. It takes a lot of time and energy to figure this stuff out and then share it with the world. So please don't hesitate to donate. Help those that help you. I'm sure you're working on some multi-million-dollar project and you want to use CUDA to speed up your C# or C++ program. So a couple dollars here or there isn't going to hurt anyone. But if you want to donate more than a couple dollars, I'm not complaining either. All right, guys, this is CUDAeducation.com. Have a great day.